Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Eric and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the pH scale. This is something very simple, but I know a lot of beginners are very interested in this topic, so I wanted to go ahead and just make a quick video for you guys. I'm not gonna make this video too long, so I'm not gonna expand a lot. I just want you guys to understand, and after this video, just know exactly how it works. Like I said, it's very, very simple. So the first point I have right here is, what is it, right? So the pH scale is basically telling us if a product is gonna be acidic, alkaline, or neutral. So it goes from 0 to 14, all right? So some products might be acidic, some products might be neutral, and some products might be alkaline. They don't have to go to 14 to be alkaline, and they don't have to go to 0 to be acidic. You know, if a product is 3, that means it's still acidic, but not as acidic as a 0 product, for example. Or degreasers, for example. Degreasers have a pH scale usually of 13 to 14, but then APCs can go from 11 to 12.5, right? So they're not as aggressive as degreasers, but you're still getting the power of the alkaline cleaning properties, all right? So yeah, very simple, very straightforward. So you already know. For example, Koch Chemie is very cool. Koch Chemie will tell you the pH scale right on the label, so you know exactly what you're buying. And I'll tell you right now why this is important. Now, if you do not know your pH scales, you're gonna have safety controls, you might damage something, and yeah, you're not gonna have control over your business and your products. You might just buy a product but don't know why you're using it, and eventually it might be a problem, or even if you're expanding and your employees damage something, because you might have common sense, but maybe your team doesn't. I don't know, it might happen, right? So something to keep in mind too is that when you dilute a product, it will make it less aggressive. For example, I think Green Star from Koch Chemie has a 12.5 pH scale, so that means it's very alkaline. However, let's say you dilute it 1 to 10, right? That will make the product less aggressive, but not a lot. Because a lot of detailers just think that if they get, for example, Super Clean, which has like a 13.8 pH scale, which is super alkaline, that's why it's classified as a degreaser, and they put 10 parts of water and 1 of product in a 32-ounce bottle, the product is gonna be neutral. That's not the case. In my experience, and what I've tested too, is that when you dilute a product 1 to 10, it will bring down the pH scale like 1 or 1.5 max, right? So if the product is 12.5, it will become like 10.5 or 11 max. So just to keep that in mind, it will not make it neutral, right? Just as the acid, if the acid is like 1 and you put a bunch of water, it's not gonna be much safer, you know? So just to keep that in mind. Now, guys, I know you can't really read this, but I just wanted to put it there so it looks more fancy. You already know. But let's get into the interior guide. So for example, I do have a Green Star bottle here, which is empty because I just used the last bit. I mean, there's a little bit, and since it's an expensive product, you already know. Right, so like I said, it has a 12.5 on the pH scale. So this is classified as an APC, all-purpose cleaner. Does it mean just because it's an all-purpose cleaner, I can go ahead and use it in every single car? I would not recommend that. For example, I have a lot of clients that they collect classic cars, right? And Porsches, like from 76, 82s, 86. And those cars, they have things that have been repainted on the interior. For example, the doors. I know my client told me that he repainted the doors a couple times. If I go ahead and use a 12.5 on the pH scale product, if I go ahead and use a product which is 12.5, even if I put 15 parts of water, I'm still gonna damage the door, and I promise you. So yeah, it's like a 1 of 50 scenario, but it can happen. So you need to ask your customer always, hey, have the interior have been repainted? You know, if it's an older car, just be careful and try not to use something like this, because it's gonna be very harmful for the leather, for the interior in general. So you might run the risk of decolorating something, right? And I'm talking because it happened to us. One of my guys, if you don't know, I have 4 vans now. One of the guys was taking care of him. He's a famous producer as well. And he went ahead and used Green Star because he was lazy to go to the van and get express interior, which is safe, by the way. It's semi-neutral. It has a 8.2 pH scale, so it's almost neutral. It's safe for every surface, right? So they know. I told them, guys, if you're dealing with newer cars, you know, like older cars as well, that you might run the risk, just go ahead and use a pH neutral product for that case scenario. He was lazy, he used Green Star, which is an APC, so most people might think, oh, it's safe for everything just because it's an APC. That's not the case. That's why it's important for you to learn this. And yeah, he decolorated the fucking door, so I had to pay for it. It was like $400. Hopefully, I mean, I'm glad that my customer had the contact because he usually fixes things, so it wasn't as expensive, but it was a whole door. It could probably been, you know, like $1,200, $2,000. So I'm grateful for that. So yeah, just something to keep in mind, guys, right? For the interior, like I said, APC for the most part, you know, like cars that are newer and not newer, but cars that are like Hyundais, Kias, Toyotas, those type of cars, you can go ahead and use just a regular APC. But now for Mercedes and BMWs, Porsches, McLarens, Rolls-Royce, etc., we go ahead and use Express Interior from PNS just to be safe. For Alcantara, same. We use a pH neutral product just to be safe. Like I said, it's gonna become a pain in the ass, but when you have experience, you learn. Just don't be lazy to go to your van, car, whatever you're detailing out of, and just grab the right product for that car. Also, if the car is in not a bad condition, for example, if we get a Hyundai and it's not a bad condition, I will go ahead and use my neutral product on that interior, because you don't need power, you don't need cleaning power. So why the hell would you do that? You're just risking the possibility of ruining that. And matter of fact, it's not even about that, you know, the leather has like a protective coating. If you use an alkaline product on leather over and over and over again, you will fade the protection. So eventually the customer, you know, something might happen, and your job as a detailer, especially if you're doing this professionally, is to preserve the customer's car and interior and everything, right? Now, let's jump into the exterior. Now, for the exterior, let's say pre-washers tend to be highly alkaline because they need cleaning power, right? Now, for the pre-wash, yes, you can use APC, degreasers, whatever you want. Just be careful, and have common sense. Because let's say you put a pre-wash and it's 100 degrees outside, and you let that thing sit on the paint and dry for like 5 minutes, you're gonna damage something, whether it's the pillars, the plastics, or even the paint. It can happen. So just have common sense when you're doing pre-wash, you know, depending on the weather. Don't let it dry on the paint. Pre-wash is for you just to lubricate all the dust and, you know, the bird droppings and all of that. So when you touch the car after removing the pre-wash, you don't scratch and cause micro swirls or marring or whatever. So just have common sense, right? Now, for the soap, I would usually go with a pH balance soap, which is Hyperwash from Meguiar's, because it's just super dilutable. It's a great product, and yeah, it lasts forever also. Now, if you need extra power, for example, I would probably get, you know, the Meguiar's, the Hyperwash, and maybe put like a little bit of pre-wash, which can be like Green Star or any degreaser, just to give it that extra power if the car is extremely dirty. Sometimes we have to pre-wash the cars like twice. It's still dirty, like white cars that haven't been washed in like months. They're hard to wash. So we usually do 2 pre-washes, and then we put like a little extra power on the pH balance soap. So like Green Star on the Hyperwash from Meguiar's, so that way we can have that extra power of washing. Now, something to keep in mind, guys, is that when the cars have any protection, whether it's a sealant or a ceramic coating, your pre-wash has to be pH balanced, right? Because if you use a highly alkaline product on a ceramic coating, on a wax or a sealant, you're gonna fade the protection away. So something to keep in mind, and ask your customers, hey, Mr. Raul, by any chance, do you have any protection on your car? That's gonna give you 2 things. 1, you're gonna look as a professional because you're asking the right questions. And 2, you're gonna know exactly what product to use to not damage the coating or to preserve any protection the car has, right? So that's very, very important. You might be asking, okay, but you talk so much about alkaline products. What about acid? Acid, the only times I use acid is when, let's say, I'm cleaning wheels, right? So acid reacts better to like minerals. It's specifically for minerals. Alkaline products is for like grease and just general dirtiness, right? Like organic stains, etc. Acid is only for minerals. You might be asking, what do you mean? Okay, so water spots, if you don't know how water spots are created, is basically when water sits down, like harsh water from, you know, your hose, or even the rain sometimes. So it has calcium. So for example, that's why you get water spots on flat surfaces. Because for example, let's say it rains and it's like, I don't know, there's like a tree close by or something, and then the water evaporates eventually, and since it's flat, it's not gonna, you know, there's no tilting, so the water is not gonna run, especially if they don't have a protection. So the chemicals, so the minerals just sit there while the water evaporates, and that's when the chemicals embed in the clear coat. Because they're just staying there and the sun is hitting that. There's no water, there's no lubrication. So boom, you get water spots. You can use acid to remove those water spots because they're minerals. So acid reacts good to minerals. So let's say you have a car full of water spots, you can go ahead and do an acid wash, which there's plenty of water spot remover products like Chemical Guys, I don't know, 3D has one. They all work because it's acid, right? Now, another case you might be use acid on the wheels. Let's say the brake dust is embedded there, right? They're caked up like the rims, and you do your process with your wheel cleaner and whatever, and it didn't come off. That's when you jump into acid. However, you need to be careful because acid and alkaline products or rims, you can only use them in original rims. How do you know when it's an original rim? When it has clear coat, so it's shiny and it has the logo. You cannot use it on aftermarket rims because you're gonna stain them, or matte rims, none of that. Stay away. If you encounter matte rims or aftermarket rims, you go into iron remover. Now, iron remover has something that's called thioglycolate. Yeah, I know you don't care about that, but just from now on, if someone says thio, you already know they're talking about the iron remover. That's basically what turns the iron remover with the iron into purple stuff, you know, like the purple liquid that it turns after you put it on the paint and you let it sit for a little bit. So it's not acidic or alkaline. It's just semi-neutral. It's like a little bit of acidic in my opinion, but it is semi-neutral. It's safe for every surface, but just don't let it sit for too long and don't let it dry in the sun. Just, you know, just have common sense. So let's say you need to remove contamination from a lighter car, whether it's white, gray, light blue, whatever, and you're gonna do an iron removal process. You're gonna go ahead and wash the car, and while the car is still wet, you're gonna spray the iron remover. So that way you're not running the risk of the iron remover just getting dried on the paint. You might damage it, right? So it is safe for all the surfaces. However, have common sense and don't let any product dry on any surface of the car. I mean, that's just common sense, right? Just put it out there just to make it super clear. But yeah, iron remover for the most part is very, very safe. Like I said, if you're dealing with aftermarket rims or you need to do a chemical decontamination with iron remover, that's how you do it. So it is safe, just have common sense. Like I said, with the rims, I do have a video explaining how to clean rims with iron remover, so go look for that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, self-explanatory. Just follow the instructions and you'll be fine. But yeah, so iron remover is not acidic or alkaline. It's just neutral and it reacts differently, and that's why it turns purple, because it has this composition right here, thioglycolate. Right? So guys, some common mistakes I see detailers do when, you know, dealing with interiors and exteriors, like I said, is letting the product dry, using the wrong products, being too aggressive because they don't know what they're doing. And also a common mistake is buying the wrong things because you see other detailers use it. Just because all the detailers use acid doesn't mean you're gonna do that, right? Remember, your job as a detailer is to preserve the customer's vehicles. So use the least aggressive method first, and if that doesn't work, you jump into more aggressive step by step. And remember, if you're dealing with newer cars, older vehicles as well, like that they can get damaged if you use an APC or something like that, just have common sense, don't be lazy, and go have both interior cleaners in your van. And for the rims, have 3 things: acid, wheel cleaner, and iron remover, because depending on the material of the rim, you need to use different stuff. For the pre-wash, remember, if the customer has protection, just go for the safest route, less aggressive. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, I didn't want to make this video too long, but I think I talked too much, but it doesn't matter. Give it a like, subscribe. If you have a question, just let me know in the comments. If you want to add something as well, please drop it in. We're all here learning, so hey, be more than welcome. Subscribe, ask any videos, any video requests. I don't mind. I love doing this for you guys. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Peace.